So, you want to break into the tech industry, right? But that whole learning to code thing, it just feels like this giant, impossible wall. What if I told you there's another way in? Today, we're going to talk all about the no-code path to a tech career. And honestly, it might just change the way you see the entire industry. I mean, this is the big one, isn't it? For like forever, the answer has always been a huge flashing yes. It's this one assumption that's kept so many brilliant people on the sidelines thinking, well, I guess tech just isn't for me.
Well, here's the good news. The answer that changes everything. You absolutely 100% do not need to be a traditional programmer to build amazing things and have a killer career in tech. There is a huge movement happening right now that's proving there's a whole other door. So what are we even talking about when we say no code? Think of it like this. Instead of writing lines and lines of complicated code, you're using visual tools. I'm talking drag and drop, point and click, and setting up simple rules. But don't let the simplicity fool you. Real companies are using these tools for serious stuff, from building internal dashboards to track sales to creating entire customer-facing apps. This is a real in-demand skill set. Okay, so before you just go out and start downloading a ton of software, hold on. We need to talk about the foundation first, because success in no-code isn't really about the specific tool you use. It's all about how you think. So let's build your skill stack from the ground up. Yeah, it really comes down to these three core pillars. First, you've got to think like a problem solver. What's the real issue for the user? What's the simplest way to fix it? Next, you build. You take a few key tools and you bring that solution to life. And finally, and this is so important, you validate. Does this thing actually work? Does it make sense to someone who isn't you? That last step, that's what turns a hobbyist into a pro. All right, so which tools should you actually start with? Look, don't get overwhelmed by all the options out there. You really just need one from each of these categories. You need a builder, something like Webflow or Bubble, to create the part people see and click on. Then you need an automation tool, like Zapier, which is basically the magic glue that connects all your different apps together. And finally, you need a database, like Airtable. Think of it as a spreadsheet on steroids. That's it. That's your starting lineup. Theory is great and all, but the only way you're really going to break into this world is by building things. Look, your projects are your new resume. The whole point is to have a portfolio that proves you can solve real-world problems. So let's walk through the three projects that will give you all the proof you need. First up, project number 1. This is all about laying a solid foundation. We're going to build something simple, super practical, and it's going to show off a set of skills that literally every single company is looking for. Your first mission is to build a lead capture page. It's a classic, it's a simple one-page website, and its only job is to do one thing. Collect a person's information, like their email, and then automatically save it somewhere. That's it. Okay, but here's the magic. Here's what this little project screams to a potential employer. It shows you can think about how a user interacts with the page. It shows you know how to handle data. And most importantly, it proves you can automate a workflow, connecting the pretty front end to a database on the back end. These are the absolute fundamentals of tech. Okay, you've got that foundation down. Now let's level up. Project number 2 takes us beyond a simple one-way street of data and introduces something new and way more complex, letting users actually interact with your creation. For project number 2, you're going to build a mini app or a simple marketplace. Think about something like a basic directory of local coffee shops, or a booking system for a personal trainer, or even a site where people can post used furniture. The key difference here is that users can actually sign up and do stuff. See, building this shows you've got some serious next-level skills. You're proving you can handle user accounts, you can create profiles, and you can build the actual logic that makes an app useful, whether that's letting someone book an appointment or post a comment. This is a huge step up. All right, project number 3. This is where we pull back the curtain. We're going to shift our focus away from the user-facing stuff and dive into the powerful, invisible processes that make a business run. This is where you show you can solve the messy internal problems. This one isn't about a slick-looking website. Nope. This is all about pure, raw efficiency. Your goal is to build an automation that solves a real business headache. You know, something like when a salesperson adds a new client to a spreadsheet, a whole chain of events automatically kicks off behind the scenes. This project is a total game changer. It proves you can think in systems. You can make totally different apps talk to each other. You can set up smart if this, then that rules. And you can build something that directly saves a company time, money, and headaches. That, my friend, is an insanely valuable skill to have.
So you did it. You've built these awesome projects. But now what? Well, how you showcase them is just as important as the work itself. Your portfolio isn't just a pretty gallery of your work, it's a sales pitch. It's the document that's going to get you hired. So let's talk about how to frame it right. Listen closely. I need you to burn this next part into your brain. Stop. Stop. Stop worrying about making everything perfect. Employers and clients, they don't care about perfection. They care about results. They just want to know, can you solve their problem?
So for every single project you put in your portfolio, I want you to use this simple 3-part formula. First, state the problem. What was the specific pain point you were trying to fix? Then, explain your solution. How did you build it? What tools did you use? And finally, the most important part, the outcome. What was the tangible result? How much time did you save? How many errors did you reduce? Focus on that. Okay, you've got the skills, you've got the portfolio that proves it. Now, where's the money? Let's connect the dots and figure out how to turn all this hard work into actual real-world opportunities. You've basically got 4 main paths you can take here. You can start freelancing and take on small gigs to build your confidence and your client list. You could become the hero at your current job by automating annoying tasks. You could even build and sell your own little digital products or templates. And seriously, don't sleep on just sharing what you're building online. You'd be shocked at the opportunities that come from just being visible. And when you finally get that interview or that call with a potential client, here is the absolute golden rule. Do not lead by talking about the tools. Nobody actually cares that you know how to use Zapier. They care that you can solve their problem. So instead of talking about the tool, talk about the outcome. Talk about the value you create. Look, if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. The tech world doesn't reward people who wait for permission. It rewards people who build things. Your way in doesn't start with a fancy certificate. It starts the moment you decide to build your first project. So here's the challenge I'm putting to you right now. I want you to pick just one of the projects we talked about, the lead page, the mini app, whatever, and build the first version of it in the next 7 days. Seriously, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be done. Build it, write about it, and share it. That is your first real step into tech. So what are you going to build?